Hi friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing the January update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project. I am really excited about this. I did hit pan on one of my Focus 5 shades, which is always like a really good time, so let's just get into that. Starting with my Modern Renaissance palette. So again, if you don't know how the Pan Those Eyeshadows projects work, I have 5 focus shades from 3 different palettes, and I'm gonna go through those first, and then I'll go through the usage on the rest of the shadows in those palettes. Okay, so my first focus shade is Red Ochre, and I did not hit pan in this. I don't think I'm close to hitting pan on it per se, but it does have a noticeable dip, which is enough for me because this was definitely my least used shade in the entire palette, so pretty happy with that. My next focus shade is Love Letter from the Modern Renaissance, and this is the one that I did hit pan on. So I did hit pan, I did not expect to hit pan. I hit pan on it after 16 uses total, so really happy with that. Again, did not expect to hit pan. I have a tiny little baby pan in it, and I'm really happy about it. So I will be rolling something else in from the Modern Renaissance. With Love Letter having pan in it, now I only have 3 shades out of the 14 that don't have pan in it at all. So those are Red Ochre, Venetian Red, and Realgar, meaning that, of course, the one that I roll in for the next Focus 5 will either be Venetian Red or Realgar, so I'm excited to see which one that is. Okay, and then for my Maybelline Lemonade Craze, my 2 focus shades are Ice Pop, which doesn't look like it has that much usage in it, but I did use it. I don't know, so we'll see. And then Citrus, which does have a really big dip in it. It is much flatter than before. I am wearing it today, it's all over the lid. So I did not hit pan in either of these, but I am hoping that Citrus will be used up next month, or at least the month after, because I do have a pretty substantial dip in it. And it is a pretty, like there's a lot of shadow in here, but I hit pan on these 2 pretty easily. So I don't know, we'll see. And then of course for my Pure Be Your Selfie palette, I do have pan in every single shade in this palette. So I am focusing on natural here, this middle one, and I'm just focusing on using it up. The pan doesn't look any different to me, but then when I see the pictures, it is a little bit bigger. I do think I'm gonna be able to use up like Pure or Charming before I can use up natural, but I am getting a good amount of usage in it, and it is just nice to track the progress on it. I think it's gonna be in for a while, obviously, because I do have a lot of product left. But I am enjoying using it, and it is a good neutral brown, so I shouldn't have any problem continuing to use it up. Okay, so now just getting into the shades in general. So Tempera here, I used 9 times in December. I did hit the wall, both this wall and the upper wall. My goal now is to use up the corner. I have just like this little bit of corner left. I do think I'll be able to use this one up in the next couple of months, so that'll be nice. It's kind of an unofficial focus shade for me, just trying to use this up because I do have so many neutral shades like this that I could use. Vermeer I used twice. Bon Fresco I used 3 times. Antique Bronze I used 3 times. Love Letter I used 4 times. Cypress Umber I used twice. Raw Sienna I used once because I'm obviously trying to use up natural. Burnt Orange I used twice. That's one that I definitely think I'll get a lot more usage on in the summer when I'm wearing a lot more warmer eyeshadows. Even though I am wearing kind of like a bronzy look today, I'm just gonna end up using it so much more in the summer. I can just tell. Primavera I used 5 times. Red Ochre I only used twice, so definitely less than I want to use for a focus shade, but honestly, like I've said before with Red Ochre, just using Red Ochre is enough for me, like using it more than once, because this is not a shade I really reach for at all. So pretty happy with that. And I also think with Red Ochre, I'll use it more in the summer months just because it is like a red and a warmer shade, and I end up wearing a lot of like red and oranges in the summer usually, and not really in the winter. Venetian Red I used once. Warm Taupe I used 8 times. I was using it more in previous months, but my hair is redder now than it was before, and so I was using it in my eyebrows, and I'm no longer using it in my eyebrows, so it's gonna have less usage, but it's still a good neutral shade. I do love using it for more cooler tone looks or just neutral looks, so I'll still get a good amount of use of it, just not as much as I did in the past couple months. And then Realgar I used twice. Okay, so then for my Pure Be Your Selfie palette, I used Pure twice, again, while I'm trying to use up my Tempera shade in the Modern Renaissance. I used natural 11 times, so that's pretty good for me. I like to have at least 10 uses on a shade I'm trying to use up completely. I think the more usage, the better. And then Free, I used 7 times. Charming, I used 6 times, and Charming is actually a lot flatter. I think the pans in Charming and Natural like seem a pretty similar size to me, but Charming is so much flatter than Natural, and that's why I think I would be able to use this one up first before Natural. But I do really like using it. It's a really good like neutral shimmer that I can just throw either like down here or on the lid, obviously. So really liking that one. Alluring, I used twice, and Gorgeous, I used 5 times. I really like using Gorgeous and Charming for like an all shimmer, really easy look. Like I can just put Charming on the inner part of the lid and then Gorgeous on the outer part of the lid, and I love it. It's such a good neutral look. Fabulous, I used once. Strong, I used twice, and Confident, I also used once. So just trying to expand all of my pans in this palette, but overall, really happy with the progress on this one. Okay, and then now moving on to my Maybelline Lemonade Craze palette. Sherbet, I used once, again, while I'm trying to finish up Tempera. Berry Ice, I used 4 times, and my unofficial goal for that, as like an unofficial focus shade, is I do want to hit the upper wall in Berry Ice. I think that's more than possible, and I have been really liking pink looks lately. I don't know what it is, just been really loving a pink look. Sunnies, I used once. Main Squeeze, I used 3 times. Strawberry Lemonade, I used 3 times. Lemonade Craze, I used once, which again, I think the yellow shades I'm going to end up using more in the spring. I love yellow eyeshadow in general, but I really love yellow eyeshadow in the spring. I think once it starts to get warmer out, it's just the perfect color to be like, it's sunny and there's flowers, and yellow is just such a happy color, and the winter's over. I just love a good yellow look in the spring, so I'll probably end up using that a lot more in the springtime. Citrus, I used 5 times, and I have it all over the lid today. I think I mentioned that, but I really like using it all over the lid or just as like an extra added little shimmer. It's a very nice, fun, neutral shimmer. Like it is light. You could wear it to work if you needed to. You could wear it like in a no makeup look, but it's still like fun and interesting. It's not like super fun. It's not like super out there. It's not like wearing like a multi-chrome or anything, but it's just like a little bit fun, and I like it. Ice Pop, I used 4 times. Coral Punch, I also used 4 times, and Coral Punch will be one that I use a ton more in the summer and spring. That is like one of my favorite eyeshadows to wear. I love a peach eyeshadow. I think it looks so good with like my eyes and my skin. So I'll end up wearing that a lot too in the summer. Sweet Tea, I used once while I'm trying to use up Natural. Old Fashioned, I used twice, and Sugar Coated, I used once. And obviously you guys can see I put up how many total uses I have for the shades. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes to hit pan on some of the other shades and how long it takes to use up some of the shades. I love the photos comparisons month to month, but I also love to see how many times I use shadows overall. I think as the months go on, it'll get more and more interesting the more I use all of the shadows, obviously. So now to roll in my focus shade from the Modern Renaissance between Venetian Red and Realgar. So I'm literally doing 1 out of 2 here, and we'll see which one it is. I'm kind of fine either way with it. Both of them don't have a lot of use. Both of them have pretty good dips in it. And because Love Letter isn't a focus shade anymore, I'm not as concerned about Venetian Red being moved in. So I'm kind of okay with either of them. So we shall see. Okay, and I got 1. Okay, so that's Venetian Red. So I'm rolling Love Letter out, and I'm basically rolling in its twin, which is Venetian Red. So I will swatch my focus shades for the month of January. It'll be really funny to see the comparison from last month to this month, because I think they're gonna look basically identical. Because I think the main difference between Love Letter and Venetian Red is that Venetian Red has like a little bit of shimmer added to it, but on the eyes, basically identical. Okay, so here are my swatches for this month. I'm really glad I've been into pinky looks lately, because obviously this is a good pinky red kind of color scheme, which I'm excited about because if you don't know, I do my updates from the 15th to the 15th of every month. So this update is the January update, but it's for January 15th to February 15th. So I'm actually really excited because Valentine's Day, right? And so these are really good shades to have for Valentine's Day because I'll be doing probably a lot of pinky looks. So I think like this is a eye look right here. So I'm excited about that, and I think this is really good. And then hopefully I'll be able to hit pan on some of these and roll in some other non-red and pink shades for after Valentine's Day, when I'll probably be a little bit sick of pink and red looks. But okay, with that, that is my update for my Pan Those eyeshadows. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know I definitely am. I really love being able to focus on these palettes and see my progress, and I'm really happy with my progress so far. I can't believe I hit pan on Love Letter. I thought that would never happen. So yeah, with that, I hope you're having a great day, week, month, year so far at least, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.